Welcome to the first podcast shot entirely in VR.
This is Elevated Studios. Thank you everybody for coming out to Elevated Studios. So yeah, this week our guest, we brought in Biohazred, aka Jake Aaron. He's big in VR. He's big in the metaverse. He has land in Neos. A big graphic designer and things that he does there. Esports competitor. He's partnered with official Facebook Gaming, and best of all, he has almost 45,000 followers on Facebook. So everybody, if you want to give a round of applause to Biohazred.
Well, I'm not the only one here that made all of the VRBros thing possible. I mean, it wouldn't have been possible without some of our other streamers to help us get us there, and of course Zombie. But yeah, man, thanks.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
We could start with just streaming and just gaming with you. Like we mentioned here, you got the partnership with Facebook Gaming and an impressive 45,000 followers on that platform. So what went into getting that partnership and really just building up a loyal following like that?
Well, it takes a lot of work. It doesn't just happen overnight. There's no doubt about it. When I first started streaming, I was definitely really, what's the word for it? Nervous. Like when I first, started to get on the microphone, and then I slowly, as I streamed more and more and more, I started to get used to talking to people more. And now people pop on the comments. They're like, "Hey, man, I like how you talk. I like, your vibe and stuff." I'm like, "Oh, well, that's awesome." We really started off as a page to just post, junk basically. And we just slowly grew and worked hard and kept on going. Facebook's kind of about their ways about how things work. It's kind of hard to exactly put a number on how something's going to turn out with Facebook streaming, because it's kind of hit and miss sometimes. But if you just push through it and you click it and stick it to a platform, as we like to say, and really build your audience on just that platform instead of trying to use Restream, you'll get there eventually. You just gotta, can't stop.
100%. And your partner, as you mentioned, is Zombie. How did that partnership come to be as well?
Oh, with somebody a long time ago, the VRBro. Some of you might have heard of the VRBro. She told me about the VRBros long before I joined, and eventually, I saw them doing stuff, kind of like the stuff. I started like a thing called VR Ops. It was supposed to be like a competitive type thing. And I was like, well, I need something laid back where I might be able to maybe cuss a time or two on streams, which at the time the VRBros was a crap posting page, so we could have got away with it back then. I joined in, offered up my my graphics ability, and they let me in as a temporary streamer, and I worked my way up. Back then there was 5 or 6 of us. Now there's only 2.
And so with that, going back to the Facebook Gaming partnership, I know Facebook Gaming is kind of trying to break into the whole streaming ecosystem, in my opinion. But what perks kind of go into that partnership, and what is Facebook doing for you as a creator to keep you with them and help grow the platform?
Well, when you stream to Facebook, and there's only certain things I can cover because I can talk about because I'm under a certain I can't say certain things, but Facebook, when you like, for example, Twitch doesn't put your content out there. When you stream to Twitch, you're streaming to Twitch. Your audience, everybody that's watching you've worked hard to get probably. Facebook pushes your content out there on Facebook Gaming. Let's say you get 100 followers. I think that's what it is. And I think 4 hours within a week of streaming, and then you get level up on your Facebook page. From there, Facebook puts you on the Facebook gaming list, basically, where they kind of push your content out a little bit. It really doesn't make a huge difference whenever you hit followers or not. It just depends on where Facebook puts you. Kind of the followage. I mean, not the followage. The partner tag is just another word that says partner tag. It didn't really make a huge difference for us. We're definitely happy to have it. We worked really hard to get it, just to be able to have Facebook kind of represent us like that.
Yeah, and like Kevin and I, we were actually just touching base on some of what Zuck's been pumping out recently as well. And it sounds like he and Facebook as a whole are ready to start investing more and more into creators and into their platforms. So, yeah. So, I mean, you being in Facebook gaming, us in Horizon, like, we're in the same boat as you. We hope Facebook keeps pushing and we can get taken care of in the long term.
It looked like he said that he's kind of betting the future of Facebook on this metaverse, this Horizons thing. And there's no doubt about it, virtual metaverses are going to change the way maybe even people shop or do different things that people do in real life outside of the headset. These metaverses are really going to change, like Facebook as a platform, like an application that you scroll on your phone. But imagine it being a platform like a metaverse, being just like an app that's entirely social and open, where you can meet new people like that. I mean, it's really amazing, all of these different metaverses. They all have a lot of differences, but
yeah. So speaking of different
Very
metaverses
true.
and things like that, we know you're very involved with another platform that we're big fans of, Neos. So if you could talk a little bit about how you found Neos and what kind of Neos is, because I'm sure a lot of our audience and people that watch our content don't necessarily know about Neos yet. So if you could touch on that just a little
I
bit.
joined Neos 2 or 3 years ago. I don't quite exactly know when. Back then, the UI was kind of It was even then, it's still a little clunky for certain users. They probably need to have a user UI and a developer UI. But besides that, Neos VR is a metaverse where you can build worlds from inside of VR chat. I mean, inside of Neos VR. Sorry, I get them always mixed up. You can basically, like, say you have a 3D model. You go into Sketchfab. Some of you might not know what that is. It's just a place where they have all the 3D models you could possibly want. You could just download, drag and drop right there onto Neos, and a little window will appear. You can import it. You can texture it right there. You can make it move. You can apply all. Let's say you're importing a weapon of some sort. You can make it shoot a car. You can make it fly or drive or whatever the heck. And you can do it from right there inside of VR. And then you can take that item and save it to your inventory. And at any time, you can pull that out of your inventory and give it to somebody, even in their world, if you have permissions. And they can take that item and save it and keep it. It's kind of like Ready Player One. It's like the flow of items and 3D stuff from movies and games and places from all over the universe. It's just all together in one place where people can just interact with it as if they're actually there. And it's truly incredible. It's magic.
It's very cool.
Kind of like a Tron bike.
Yeah, like the Tron bike. we have a drivable.
Yeah,
we have a drivable Tron bike.
I know it's not as good as yours, Biohazard, but we
it's still pretty cool.
We put a little Tron bike together.
I like it.
But no, going back to Neos too, they're a little bit more open. Going back to Zuck's talk from this week, he discussed Facebook being more interoperable, and Neos is kind of already in that situation to where it's just more open. The creators kind of have a little bit more of an incentive. I know there's NCR coin. You and I have talked about a little bit. Don't need to dive into it too much, but I think creators in Neos right now have a little bit more of an incentive to go ahead and build something. I don't know if you have any ideas of just anything you can monetize in there, or let's say you made a game or an experience you could sell tickets to in there. I just think Neos that's why we are open to Neos and we like
very
Neos.
Possible. Very possible.
Yeah. And I know they had like the B Haptics event to where they're kind of more open even as far as hardware goes.
Nice.
And I saw in some of your streams, do you have the B Haptic suit?
I do.
Yeah.
I love it.
What's it
I
like? Tell us
strongly
a little bit
recommend
about
it.
I
it.
don't
If you're a
even.
VR enthusiast, let's say you have like an Xbox controller. You know the little vibrator inside of like an Xbox or PlayStation controller, but smaller, a lot smaller, not clunky, and there's like 40 of them, and they run up and down your vest. So let's say somebody comes up behind you and they can rub their hand on your back. It actually feels like their hand is on your back. It's pretty crazy. I can feel where I'm being
This is
shot.
wild.
So for example, if I'm in a shooting game and in a battle, right? It's obviously not real life. You get clipped by a bullet in real life, you're probably not gonna be very happy about it. But in the game, I can get shot in the back, and if I don't die immediately, I know exactly where that bullet came from because I can feel in the direction and from my ears. I can,
Wow.
and it really gives it that tactile haptic feedback that and not just for shooting games, for music, for so much more. I strongly recommend it. And if not the X40, the
So like,
X16, I hear is pretty good too.
and so like, even with music, like, can you feel like bass, or can you
Oh
elaborate
yeah,
on that
oh
a
yeah.
little bit more? Like, what all goes into that? That is
Um,
wild. I haven't worn one yet. I really want one, but
So besides the haptic or what they call game feedback, I think that's what it's called. So basically that's a feed out from the game. Besides that, you can run audio to haptics, which basically is your audio output into the haptics directly. So if you're in Discord, you might hear your voice, other people's voices rattling, but there's ways around that. Um, so basically, it's audio haptics. It's all the audio from that port of your computer into the haptic vest, either through Bluetooth. It has Bluetooth connectability, and it's really good. It's really good stuff. And it has an aux cable plug on the back. So essentially, um, it just feels awesome, man. It's kind of like, have you ever been to a party, like a big club, and you stand next to the speakers and you can feel it rattling your
boom,
insides out?
boom, boom.
It's like that, man. It's
Yep.
kind of like that, but on your chest.
Very cool.
That's
That
what I
is
like about it,
wild.
because I
Very
like
cool.
to sit next to the speakers. I like the action.
That's a little teaser, actually. So next week we're trying to bring on one of the B Haptics community managers. So we'll touch
Love those
base on
guys.
that a little bit more next week. But yeah, the haptic, like, just experience. Kev, I think, made a little bit of a short on just the more senses we can bring into the metaverse, whether it be a sense of feel, the better sound we get, the better visuals we get, and we've even seen some like scent NFTs and stuff like that, to where, let's say you walk into a forest, you start smelling like woods. I mean, really, the more immersed we can get down this, I think the more popular it's gonna
Well, there's
get.
also a flip side
And
to that.
I think
If you were to walk into a pile of zombies, I don't think you want to smell.
this is true.
That's true.
But yeah, every little bit counts. You're trying to trick your mind into making you think that this is real, and it is such an amazing job already. I mean, literally just having a headset on right now, I don't have the. Maybe if I was to turn a fan on and feel the wind, it would make it feel like I'm actually floating here on this big platform where
Up
there's
into the clouds.
nothing to block the wind, you know. And it would convince my mind like so, because that's what VR is all about. It tricks your mind into making it think that it's more than just a 3D than what
Just
you know. It
yeah,
really is. It's amazing.
yeah. Some of my favorite streams that I've watched with you, you are in mixed reality. Like, I know in Horizon you look down at your hands and you see your avatar's hands. But recently, I've seen you on your streams look down at your hands, and they're your real life hands holding onto controllers. And you're in like Nuketown shooting up zombies in a COD map. I mean, just your streaming process. I mean, there's a reason you are where you are. But going into your process a little bit, how does that work? And what, I guess,
Well, it's certainly
principles
not
do you
easy.
use to make it a good
Um,
stream?
I have never really talked about this publicly, like on a video before. But essentially, I'm using the index cameras that are mounted to the headset, and they basically only capture in square format. So a lot of you, if you're trying to do this, you won't be able to do it on Twitch. It really only works on platforms that support 1:1 aspect ratio, which is strongly recommended if you want to stream mobile. If you want to stream on Facebook, you want to do 1:1 format. It just looks best on mobile. Most of the people are on Facebook; they're not on their computers. So, but besides that, I have on the walls green over here, on the floor, on the ceiling, everywhere around me except for behind me, where I have four big studio quality They're not the expensive high-end LED ones, but they're the pushing lights, and they're really bright. Um, so basically, what I do is I overlay the video of my green screened arms because all the camera sees is my arm, and all the green that's behind it, since that's all behind me, is all removed. And I
Makes
overlaid that
sense.
with the game just ever so carefully. I don't think there's any way to do it without the index cameras because that camera is just right up here on your eye, and it's just so close to where the right eye view is. Where most people who stream VR would probably, especially shooter games, want to use the right eye to look through when they're releasing their stream, basically.
But with you, I mean, that's a very advanced streaming top, like just setup in and of itself. To where, let's say I was a beginner, and I was just wanting to start streaming Horizon or streaming a play to earn game or streaming some Neos, for example. I do see in a lot of your recent streaming videos the little pipeline logo in the corner, and I looked
That's
into it
not
a little
me.
bit, and it seems like,
That's the other one. That's
oh,
the other
okay.
guy. That's Zombie.
Is that Zombie?
Yes, that
Okay,
would be
okay.
Zombie. He streams his
So,
pipeline.
okay, gotcha. So, but like with Pipeline, I did see on your personal one that you are a curator for them now. And do you
Curated
guys have a
graphics designer.
partnership with Pipeline? And yeah, and do you want to go into what
So
Pipeline
yeah,
is a little bit more?
Zombie is affiliated with Pipeline, and I'm a curated graphics designer there. Essentially, Pipeline GG is this amazing place where you can go in, have all these tutorials, all of this wealth of information on their website, on their Discord. All these people there that can help you. There's just they have these meetings, not every day, but every now and then, and they teach people how to become better streamers. I strongly recommend signing up for Pipeline GG. If you're looking to become a good streamer, they can point you in the right direction. They can show you how to. You can learn from them, and there's a lot you can learn. There really is. Pipeline. If you're even if you're an experienced streamer, I still find stuff every now and then that I learn from just being in their Discord. And there you can
I
be. There's
gotcha.
lots of people there you can connect with on their Discord. All the good content creators, or I can't say all the good ones, but a lot of the good ones are there.
A lot of
A
good
lot
ones,
of the good
yeah.
ones.
And it looks like access into that community, and it looks like there was some master class, just like pre-recorded videos that new people can go and watch. It all
Right,
runs about like what,
masterclass.
$30 a month, I think.
It does. It does. Oh, on another thing, for any of you looking to get into mixed reality streaming, I strongly recommend checking out Toge's Mixed Reality Masterclass on YouTube. It is a great way to get started. That's where I started before I designed my own version of mixed reality, and I strongly recommend Toge, Touge, Mixed Reality Masterclass on YouTube.
And I guess just to take you partnering with Pipeline personally a little bit further, is that something like we could outsource? Like, let's say I had an idea, could I outsource through Pipeline to you as a graphic designer for you to create something, or like what exactly is your partnership with Pipeline?
So if you sign up for Pipeline, you can go into their where their graphic section is, and scroll through their curated designers and figure out which one you want. Choose that designer, and I offer discounts to people who have Pipeline memberships. So essentially, I'm just a designer for them. I just another place for my graphics for me to help people, get a hold of good quality artwork for their streams and for their stuff. Um, and what better place than Pipeline? I joined. I've been following Zombie a while back. He's been telling me about Pipeline forever. And he really attributes Pipeline to the success of the VR Bros. He does. And he learned a lot from Pipeline, so I can't say that's not true because it is a lot of some of our success definitely came through Pipeline. And Yeah, it's a great place to be. It really is. If you're trying to get into streaming, and they do have all of these resources. I'm not the only graphics designer here. I can't really say that I'm a partner with them. I'm just a, I mean, technically, I guess I kind of am, I guess, but that's not exactly the word for it. I'm a curated graphics designer, and that's pretty much just what it is. I just I just make graphics for them, give them to streamers that are in need and a little discount here and there.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah, so
so
with
essentially, like Pipeline's a community, and if I'm in the community, and let's say like you're not necessarily working for Pipeline, like in a way,
No,
they're kind of a middleman. Is that
pretty
they're
much.
kind of
Yeah,
more
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
middleman? Okay, I got you.
okay, so
But
with graphic design, did you go to school for it, or how did you get into this
By the
role
time I
of the
was in
designer?
classes for how to learn how to do graphic design, I was already better than the teacher. I taught myself every bit of graphic design that I know, through either whether it's through YouTube or through trial and error. Learning myself has always just been the way for me to go. And there's so much. I've been doing graphic design for most of my life. For about
Nice.
15 years, I suppose I've been using Photoshop and After Effects and Adobe products like that. I've done so much work. I don't know if you guys have seen my latest stream, but I've got one where it starts off where the V haptics vest is zipping up as the camera's zooming out, and then if you've ever seen Ready Player One, where Parzival puts the headset on, so I've got the camera and it comes around the side of
yep,
my face, and then it goes into the VR headset, and then you're looking at my hands, you're looking at video game hands,
clean.
and they particularize into real hands. And then I jump through the portal, and on the other side of the portal is my stream. Like you can see my stream through the portal, basically. And then there's my real hands in the game, and I'm playing the game with my real hands. I've never seen anybody do anything quite like
Wow.
that.
Very cool.
I try to do things that people only do in post processing, but live. If you get my drift. So
Makes
most
sense.
people
Yes. Yes.
do these things in edits where they have a pop up. So if I'm in the middle of a battle, right, and I recommend using floor pedals for your pop ups. If you're looking to be a streamer, if you're in a battle, a lot of people use the little 8 bits. They reach over with their finger, but when you're in a battle, you can't reach over with your finger. You can't do any of that. But you can move your feet, and you press that button with your foot, and there goes the pop up. And that allows us to be able to do these things, special effects and mix different effects like that live, whereas most people have to edit them into their videos.
Yeah, and I'm very very amateur when it comes to streaming and even VR gaming. But would you say having like those foot pedals, is that a player advantage as well? If you didn't have to do separate
If you
things, or
were
is that
able
more
to
just for streaming?
bind if you were able to bind certain keys, like for example, a while back there used to be ability where you could force the thing to move on an X or Y. You could force your player space. So if I was to bind that to one of my buttons to say somebody was shooting at me, I could press the button and teleport to the right several feet and dodge their bullet. But it's not possible anymore. I was trying a certain setup like that for a camera setup, a third-person mixed reality camera setup for a specific kind of Beat Saber stream, and that's where I learned that it was not possible. But it was at a time.
I got
I
you.
don't know if anybody used it. But yeah, you can trigger
Well,
not on Oculus, but on Steam. You can bind certain buttons to keyboards if you have a certain program to do it with. I can't remember what it's called. Driver for VR, I think. And
gotcha.
yeah,
So
Very cool.
and just going into player advantages a little bit. I noticed on your Facebook profile you have fill in VR Master League competitor. Are you involved with
so
the
I'm
VR
just a
Master League, the esports league?
I follow them. I've been following Din Kinman since he started the VRML. I especially love watching Echo Arena. Love watching that. It's one of my favorite things to
Yes.
watch. To be honest,
Yes.
I mean it's
It's
just the
so clean.
best. So yeah, I'm just a fill-in competitor. I wouldn't say I'm far from a new. I've got the skills, but I'm a streamer. I'm a graphics designer. I just don't have the time to put in to work with. If you want to make it to the top, if you want to make it to the top in a professional game like that, you need to be able to work with your team every day, or at least every other day, to get better and better and better. You need to be able to have that coordination, teamwork, and be able to play to your team's strengths, or you won't be able to make it. And I don't have the time to be able to put into something like that. So I'm just a fill in.
Yeah. And you're even seeing that like in schools now. Like me growing up, it was always there's football practice, like basketball practice, baseball practice, but now esports are starting to transition into scholarships and stuff like that. So I could totally see how, yeah, you got to spend 2 hours with your team every day, get all your stuff down pat, and then go out and
Arena is
hopefully win the
considered a real
tournament. I
sport.
mean, it's the same concept.
That's what they all say.
Oh yeah,
Everybody says arena is a real sport, and that's why combat fell under. I said, look, I don't really care if combat's not a real sport. It's an amazing game, Echo Combat. A lot of you probably haven't played it, but it is my favorite VR combat game. Just being able to battle in zero G like that is phenomenal. It's incredible. And so I wish that they would bring that to Quest. I really do. That would be just that would. I can't ask for anything more, really. That would be. But anyway,
yeah. I mean, just moving forward, you're gonna keep killing the streams. We're at that point with the whole VR space and the metaverse space that I think it's just gonna keep growing exponentially from this point.
oh yeah.
And so, being positioned where you and Zombie are, what is next for VR Bros, or what are you gonna do to keep making sure you're in a good spot as the space grows?
Well, like I've said before, every penny that I get out of this goes right back into buying more hardware and making the stream stuff better. I'm always looking to find more entertaining ways to stream, to bring mixed reality content to more people, to bring the wonder of VR to more people. And that's kind of I love it when people put that comment, "Hey, I bought a VR headset because I watched you guys." That's just, I mean, it's amazing. And to be able to introduce somebody to a world like this, so the VRBro games. I want to talk to you guys about the bro games. We had to put a little bit of a pause on it. We kind of tested it out before we got partnership. We're trying to build a VRBros gaming community where we have different squads. We have Inferno squad and Typhoon squad. We got graphics made up for them and everything. And there's the different, like a ranking system inside the squad, we have these like squad battles and stuff. So eventually, let's say you work your way up to the top of the squad, now you're in position to make your own squad, like your own little community inside the VR Bros. And you're in control of those people that are below you in that squad. And you're supposed to come up with these tournaments, and we battle them against each other. And that's going to be the bro games, and I have a whole set, like a whole table with VR Bros logo on it and everything. And I can sit in it with my green room and everything. I can put stuff on the virtual table. It looks like real items are actually sitting on the virtual table, and it was a lot of work. I've never done a game show type thing before, and we have tested it a time or two. It was all right. If we were to do it now, it would be amazing. We just don't exactly have the community base for it at the moment. We're trying to get our community just built up for that. But beyond just the VR Bros, the bro games and stuff like that, I'm always trying to find what we call a golden egg. The next gimmick, the next big thing that we want to set a trend or whatever it is. We're always on the lookout for it. We have to be really careful though. We've always been very careful what we do here at the VR Bros. That's how we got this far. I would say that VR Bro Zombie is probably a little bit overprotective of the VR Bros and what we do. But sometimes playing it safe is better safe than sorry.
Sure.
Yeah. And you guys looking for the next thing. Kev and I are kind of in a similar boat. We chose Horizon as our first home to shoot the show just because there was no overhead, where there are, 5-10 different realms that we could have built a studio in. So that's kind of what we're weighing as well, just what space is going to be logical for us to either transition to, or maybe Horizon's our forever home. But very, very similar boat there, as you guys know. And I don't know.
As much
I think
as I
either
like
way,
some of the
though,
other,
the space is going to grow.
As much as I like some of the other metaverses, as you said earlier, Mark Zuckerberg looks like he's he's investing in Horizons. This might be the right place to be. You might be in the right place at the right time, right now.
We were relieved when we heard that talk the other day, to say the least.
Yeah, I bet.
But no, man, that's pretty much all we got today. We're happy having you on as always, and we'll
It's
continue
great to be
talking
here.
with you in the future, watching the streams, sharing your streams. But I think you and I and Kev, we're all in the right position to capture VR's growth moving forward. So it was great having you on. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Please give us a follow, subscribe, or tip on our socials at ElevatedXR. Thanks, and see you next time.